this law ruin your retirement? This isn't a law of man. This is just a law that some man made up. It's not on the books on any state. It's just a concept that I think people are not paying attention to. And if you don't know this law, you could actually hurt your investing. You could make it to where you can't retire. And for those people who like the content in less than a minute, so you know what I'm talking about, and I get to the damn point, I'm talking about the Goodhart law. This is going to be a nice short live on my phone where I probably won't see or be able to answer the comments. If you want your questions answered during a live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, I do live streams that basically last as long as the questions do. I figured also it's a Saturday morning, and what better to do when your brother's over here enjoying your terrible view you have to live with than come out here and interrupt his morning with a YouTube video. But the Goodhart's law, it's not something I think he's used. And I get this from working in law enforcement, right? I've tried for a pension a few times. I was in the Marines for 6 years, law enforcement for 8, and in law enforcement I heard about the Goodhart's law. And it also can be used in the medical field, but in law enforcement, the way this has worked is if you have a metric or you develop a strategy based on an outcome goal, you can actually hurt the intention you had. And the example is in law enforcement, if you want to slow down, limit, or eliminate crime, you might measure it. Well, the way you choose to measure it can be what makes it not work. So if your mayor comes to your chief and says, I want to make sure crime goes down next quarter because I've got an election coming up, and your chief goes to the everyday working officer and says, hey, don't arrest anybody. Don't charge any felonies. We want to make it look like crime has come down. Or if you work in the medical field, the way the Goodhart's law is applied is they start studying and recording data on surgeries. And they go, this is the success level of these different surgeries. And you figure, like eliminating crime, this sounds like a good thing. You want to know which surgeries are successful and which ones aren't. And then the end result is physicians who want to have a good track record refuse to do certain risky procedures, and then the people that need those risky procedures done to save their life actually can't get them done. So the Goodhart's law can impact your retirement or your investing in almost the same fashion. Now, I chose real estate. There are things like stocks, crypto, starting and growing a business and getting it to the point where it's large enough for someone else to run the day-to-day to reach financial freedom. So choose whichever path is best for you. But specifically with stocks, some people might say, millionaires have 7 streams of income. So I want a diversified stock portfolio. I want index funds. I want some money in my Roth. I want some money in my IRA. I want to use this company 401k. They're so diversified, they don't know how to focus on one asset class in stocks and actually do well. If you invest in real estate and you say something that I think is actually very counterproductive, have a conversation with somebody and find out that they also own rentals. What's one of the first questions? How many doors do you have? Do you realize how dumb of a metric that is? If your goal is to have a lot of doors in real estate, you might start buying properties that lose money every month because it gives you a bigger door count. Or you might take on projects that need more work than you're capable of. Or take on risky debt with an adjustable rate or a loan reevaluation period so that you can say, I have a lot of doors. Or take it another step and people say, well, how much money per door do you make? That's also a terrible metric. Because if you're looking at how much per door do you want, you're not looking at the yield. You might invest and get a terrible yield, barely break even, just so that you can say, I've got more doors. You might invest and get a couple $100s per door, but invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it so that you can say that you get more money per door instead of looking at the yield, which is annual profit divided by cost to acquire. When you look at how you invest or your plans for retirement or how you want to improve crime or look at medical statistics, make sure you're choosing a metric that doesn't ruin the initial goal. Again, I hope this video at least made you think. The purpose of my content is to help the average individual realize that you can reach financial freedom, make work completely optional, in 10 years or less, even if you're not starting from the best position. So that you can do things like go to your brother's and hang out on the deck in the morning and listen to the stupid sea lions bark all night long. Did they keep you up last night?
They tried.
They tried. Have a weekend full of awesome. If you want your questions answered during a live stream, remember I will see you Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific.